a sushi menu practice, and here's what he meant by that. It's like pick and choose, certain guys working a little bit. They didn't exactly go hard at it, he admitted that. Taking to some of the video of this practice, and LeBron and the guys after last night's game really deserve some time off to relax, just shoot a little bit, get back together and talk about what they did right last night. And they did a lot of things well, there's no doubt about that. I think the best shot of the day after practice, the big three, Bosh chilling in his Heedle shirt, says, "You ready? Yeah, let's take a walk." The big three walked off like a nice Western film through the streets of Charlotte back to their hotel for some rest tonight. As for last night's game, the players admitting this is starting to look a lot like Miami Heat basketball.
Well, we never saw this team, you know. That's just the truth. We never saw this team, and you know, for have 15 healthy guys to be able to go to his regular rotations and pencil in guys when he want them throughout the course of the game, it helps us a lot.
I was telling them last night I didn't even know we was up 20. You know, we was just playing the game. I think it was a free throw that finally stopped, and I looked up and I was like, we have 21 points. I had no idea. We was just playing the game, and you know, it went from 9 or whatever to 21 kind of fast from that standpoint. But we was just playing Miami Heat basketball, and it felt good.
I know Heat fans get frustrated when they don't see that consistent play, and then the playoffs come and that sort of switch is hit. Here's what Bosh had to say about the Heat hitting the switch and playing the way they did last night.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's difficult to do. You know, you need special circumstances to have that type of basketball, but you know, we always work on our core values, as Coach says, our principles during the season. We're just able to, you know, play at a higher intensity for a longer period of time, and we understand when people see that, they want to see it all the time, but we try to muster it up as much as possible. It's difficult.
Earlier today at practice, I had a chance to catch up with Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra, ask him where he was feeling about his basketball team, if he thinks that they're hitting stride at the right time now in the postseason, and that is all part of our Florida Lottery Coach's Corner. It seemed like this team was clicking last night in a way that we haven't seen of late, whether it be because guys weren't in the lineup for injury reasons or whatever. Did you get the sense that maybe this is more the Miami Heat team that everybody's been waiting to see as we enter the postseason now?
Well, getting to our identity, that's the most important thing. And you saw stretches of that in games 1, game 2. A little bit more consistent, and that's ultimately what you want in a series as you're playing against competition. Anything can happen. The level rises, and is that competition making you play better as a group? And as the series goes on through that competition, do you start to play better collectively and improve in each game? It doesn't always turn out that way. Sometimes you're in a dogfight where it's up and down, but we think we're starting to improve as the series goes on. That's the only thing we're looking at. And can we play a better game in Game 4?
Is it fair to say, to correlate, okay, you've got your regular rotation with obviously your core 3 and the other guys in finally healthy. Is it fair to correlate, okay, that health and that consistency with better play now in the playoffs?
Yeah, we don't want to make excuses. We were trying to figure it out during the end of that regular season. The last 6 weeks, we were in some very close games. We dropped 10 games in the fourth quarter, 11 games actually, where we had a lead or tie and a chance to win at the end. If you win half of those, all of a sudden it looks much different if you win from 59, 60 games. But I like that struggle. I think going through the process of that, guys in and out of the lineup, guys having to step out, having to play those games and not making excuses for it. I think that process helps you for the postseason when the unpredictability eventually happens. Now we have all of our guys. We're all healthy. It feels great. There's a familiarity to it. You can't guarantee that. So we just have to be ready for whatever happens. But guys are comfortable in their roles right now, and our bench is playing great basketball, giving us a very good boost.
Finally, it always starts with defense with this team, and at times that was probably the one stretch. I don't know if it frustrated you most, but I know people would point to that not the same type of Heat defense. Do you get the sense now in the postseason that with those pieces in place that maybe we're starting to see a little bit more of that Heat defense we're used to?
Our guys understand how important it is. You have no chance of winning what we're trying to win if you don't defend, if you don't make it tough on the other team, and if you don't really dig in and get collective stops in a row and give yourself extra possessions that way. That has to be our style. It has to be that commitment. It takes a tremendous amount of activity and effort level each game and each player to be able to do that. During the playoffs, you have more time, days in between, so that should not ever be an excuse, and particularly on the road. When you're on the road, you can't guarantee how you're going to shoot the ball, and you need those defensive stops to give you, you know, a little bit of leeway.